Hello, hello, hi, gigpreneur. What is going on? Welcome. Happy Saturday, and hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. I am Sean Azimi, and I help folks just like myself, just like you, to make money using social media and the online space. So, if that is you, if you are looking to make extra money and get into this whole gig economy using the online space, drop the word me in the comments and I will be sure to get back with you. Let's go. And as you're joining me live, let me know you are here. Would love to know where you are tuning in from. I am myself from Southern California, so it's been up and down this week. We had some cold nights, and then the nights are still pretty chilly, but warm, really warm day. So that's Southern California for you. If you've ever been to Southern California or you're from Southern California, maybe drop a one in the comments or let me know where you've been. That would be nice to know. And if you are not following me, why aren't you? Let's go. Follow me and I'll follow you back. We are live on all channels: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So you can follow me on all those channels. All right, enough with that. Let's go. Let's get into tonight. I'm a single child. I grew up as a single child, and I've always kind of been alone, right? I've always done the solo thing. Um, I I haven't. The only time that I've had people around me was when I was at work, right? I had people around me, but at home and everywhere else, I've kind of been the solo guy. Now, I may be really loud, and people think that I'm an extrovert. Actually, believe it or not, I'm an introvert, and I always tell people I may be very loud, but I'm also very private. So you may hear a lot of stuff, but I may not go really deep about my deep personal life with everybody, right? So, but I I also have um, been in situations where I kind of needed to be alone, right? Like um, I don't really want to get into um, details, but maybe you've been in a situation where just nobody been around, right? Really, nobody that you can speak to or can communicate with hasn't been around, or it just physically nobody was around, right? So, and sometimes you may just kind of want to just kind of pause and pull away from the crowd and just be by yourself, right? So, what happens when solitude kicks in, right? When you're kind of doing the solo thing and you're practicing or experiencing um, just being by yourself, right? Now, the same way you can kind of misunderstand between lust and love, you can also misunderstand between solitude and loneliness, right? Just because you're going solo and you're just kind of in that space by yourself, it doesn't mean you're lonely, right? So, two ways you can look at solitude are this. One, you can thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. I'll be sure to follow you back. As you're joining me live, I would love to know where you're coming in from. So, maybe drop where you're coming in from. I myself am from Southern California. So, but the two ways you can use solitude, one way is going to be obviously not so positive, and the other one is going to be super positive. Hey, Z in the house, yes. I'm Southern California. We're in the same time zone. That is cool. So one way is you can take a look at solitude as a void to fill. If you look at solitude as a hole, that you got to fill this hole, then what happens when that hole kind of fills itself after a while, because that hole is there for now, it may not always be there, right? You may feel that way today, but you may not feel that way next month, right? Or next year. So thank you for the loves. I appreciate you. Aunt Kitty, I see you. Thank you. I was thinking about you actually today. So you can take a look at solitude as a void to fill, like a hole to just kind of, patch up, or a space to grow. And I think that's a big, huge difference between the two. If you are constantly trying to fill a void, then you're not going to be growing. So you can take a look at solitude as a place where it just needs to be filled all the time, or a space for you to grow. When you practice some alone time, when you practice some time to yourself, and just take a breather from the world. Like today, I took a breather in the morning till late afternoon. I was just kind of into my own space. I walked a little bit. I just was into my own space. And, sometimes when you're doing social media work, um, that could hurt you, you know, but I come first. I have to. Right? And now I at times I don't put myself first. I know, I'll admit, but when I do have a choice, when I do have a chance, I do. I take that chance. I practice, right? So I want you to take a look at your solitude, your time by yourself, as time to grow, as a space to grow, versus a void to fill. And that also happens with your and that also happens with love. you know I've done a couple of lives on love. The reason why I laugh is because I think I bring such a unique, let's just go with that, unique perspective to it. But one thing, and I love the movie Jerry Maguire. Who here? I'm dating myself. Who here has seen that movie, Jerry Maguire? Drop a one in the comments if you've seen it. But there's a spoiler. Well, not a spoiler alert. It's just a scene in the movie. There's a scene in the movie that they're in the elevator, and these two hearing impaired folks are talking sign language to yourselves. Obviously, you've seen it, yes. And the guy turns around and signs to the gal that you complete me, right? And this is like the moment of the movie, right? Everybody's like, "Oh, that scene, you complete me. I wish somebody told me that," And yeah, I would run away if somebody told me that. I would. I think I have actually. Yeah, I don't. I'm no. I'm not here to complete anybody. Not that I want somebody who's completed, but I'm not here to complete anybody, because I don't look for anybody to fill a hole in me, and I don't want anybody else to be looking to fill a hole in them, because that fill it's a feeling, is the emotion, right? And it's not always going to be there. What you feel today, you're not going to feel in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. It's just going to change, right? So same thing here. When you practice solitude, see, you can't, you shouldn't even say loneliness. Well, when you tag it with loneliness, that's a void. You're treating that space as a void to fill. But when you say solitude, hey, I'm taking some time to myself, that's a space you're using for growth. And I want you to be very aware and conscious of that, and be able to distinguish between the two, right? So what is going on with the chats? I see so many stuff going on in the chat. Maybe I should go back and read some of these comments. Are you guys getting into it with yourselves? What's happening? So thank you for all the loves. I appreciate it. If you're not following me, let's go follow me. Be comfortable with being alone. Yeah, you got to be comfortable with it. That's a good point. I'm gonna end it on that point. But it's not comfortable being alone. It's not. It's not. People think it is, and people love to be alone. But how many times can you just sit there alone without anything? No phone, no TV, nothing around, or just can you sit there for half an hour, and just meditate without anything at all? It's just not that easy, right? It's not that easy, but at the same time, it does take some practice, right? And there's people who meditate 3 4 hours, right? So it does take some practice, but I think you know, we get bored with that time alone with ourselves because we really don't know what to do with ourselves. Think about it, right? Because we're not using that space for growth. And I'm very guilty of that too. I'm not just preaching, right? I'm a work in progress. So that's a really good point. So I thought I would share that thought with you. Alone, yeah. See, if you think of it as lonely, then it's a void, right? It just sounds like it's empty. It's a void, right? But solitude by myself, it just basically you're saying, hey, I'm taking this time for myself. It just means growth. It just comes that way, right? So with that, hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value. What is Titan? What is that? Tinnitus. I'm sorry, I'll pray for you. I don't know what that is actually. I'll look it up. I don't know what that is. I hope it's nothing bad. All right. So with that, hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value. If you're not following me, follow me. Let's go, and I'll follow you back for sure. And I am Sean Azimi with sidegigshawn.com. And what I do is simple. I help myself and you to make some extra money or whatever you want using the online space, the social media space. So, oh, no way. Ringing 24/7 in your ears. Really? Wow. I gotta look that up. Tambo. Is that what it is? Tambo? Ringing in the ears. All the time? 24/7? How long have you had that for? Hey Jen, what is good? What is happening? Check the message I sent you. How long have you had that for? Tambo. That's crazy. Are you following me? Make sure you follow me. I'll hit you up. I did not know what that meant. Wow. Yeah. Everybody's got a story. Isn't that crazy? I think that's awesome. Everybody got a story. Yes. Okay. Wow. You saw the message. Respond. I'm just kidding. How long have you had? Respond to the message. How long have you had it? I'm gonna sign off of Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. We are signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love. I will. Don't be scared. Why are you scared?